Well, hello and welcome to Wednesday Daily Dominion, which means that we have two expansions paired together. This time it's Seaside and the newly merged Cornucopia and Guilds expansion. Yeah, this kingdom is rather simple in a way because it does not have any village. Um, we do have Lighthouse, which gives us an action and a coin this turn and a coin at the start of our next turn. It also saves us from any attacks played, but there are no attacks in this kingdom, so that part is not going to be relevant. We have Stonemason, which we faced already on Monday. On play, we trash a card from the hand and gain two cards, each costing less than it. And when we overpay it, which means we pay more than the two money, we gain two action cards costing the amount overpaid. So we can overpay three and gain, for example, a monkey and a sea chart, but no victory cards. It's important. Next one is Lookout, a trasher I don't think we've seen so far. But Lookout gives an action, and then you look at the top three cards of our deck, and we trash one of them, we discard one of them, and we put the other one back onto the top of our deck. This is kind of nice to cycle early, especially if you see it like turn 3, that's amazing. Get to trash a card off the top of your remaining 7 cards and discard one. So you have lots of control over your second hand. Lookout kind of falls off in the late game or even in the mid game when you can accidentally reveal 3 really good cards and then you'll have to trash one of them. It's always a really feels bad card. I have a love-hate relationship with it, I'd say. Monkey draws us cards whenever our opponent gains cards, so this can disincentivize our opponent from gaining cards if we have played one, and also draws an extra card at the start of the next turn. Um, in this kingdom, it's not going to be super relevant as there is no village. Next up is Sea Chart, a laboratory variant. We reveal the top card of our deck, and if we have a copy of it in play already, then we put it in hand. This is nice if you have a stack of sea charts. You sometimes get to draw your deck if you have a somewhat thin deck. And if you get some trashing and get rid of the coppers, don't have much treasure payload, you can draw your deck. So this would be nice in conjunction with a few treasuries, for example, and also duration cards like Lighthouse and Wharf. But getting to the point where you have this stack of sea charts is quite kind of dicey. Next, there is Treasure Map, a card that on the first look sounds amazing. We gain 4 golds onto our deck when we trash 2 treasure maps at the same time. Well, the problem about this is that this is a terminal card, so we have to use up an action, and we have to actually be lucky enough or set it up somehow to draw those treasure maps in the same hand. And then these golds are gained on top of our deck. So next turn, I mean, we're going to be able to buy a province, but unless we're lucky and have a butcher with them, we're not going to be able to do much more. Um, yeah, so usually treasure map is quite underwhelming. I don't think we'll go for it here. Butcher is a remodel variant and a really strong one in that. It gives us 2 coffers on play and we may trash a card from our hand to gain a card costing up to 1 more than it per coffers we spend. So we can turn I don't know, a 5 cost card into province if we spend 3 coffers, if we have any coffers left over from before. And Butcher is also very good at milling provinces. That is, if you have a province in hand, you play the Butcher, trash a province, get 2 coffers, which you can use on your next turn or for your buy, and decimate the province pile. This is very powerful to keep the game short. And this is also, I think, mainly the reason why the C chart plan might be too risky here. Merchant Guild, +1 buy, +1 coin, and at the end of our buy phase, we get +1 coffers per card we gained in it. Yeah, not much to say about this. We've played with that. I don't think it's as good as Butcher here or even Wharf. So yeah, we'll probably ignore it. Then we have Treasury, a peddler variant, and we get to top deck it if we don't gain a victory card in our buy phase. Which is nice to kind of get the deck going, but also 5 is a steep opportunity cost. There's Wharf now and at the start of the next turn, +2 cards and +1 buy, one of the strongest draw cards and payload cards in the game. So much so that there is a strategy called Wharf Money where you just buy wharfs and money to some extent, of course, with um, some tricks if you can put them in. But yeah, looking at this kingdom and also looking at the kingdom plot, we immediately see that we don't have any sort of village. I wonder, can you actually see my mouse? No, well, it's hidden behind the picture. But yeah, there's no sort of village. There's loads of gain stuff going on, but this gain stuff is locked behind a terminal. Um, yeah, terminal costs. So actually, we cannot make use of all of this gaining. There's an attack card. I think I've ranked Monkey as sort of an attack card. It's a personal attack to your desire to gain stuff, but only very weak in that and not super relevant here. With some draw with Wharf and Monkey and Sea Chart and non-terminal draw, and Thinning and Lookout and Stonemason. But yeah, what do we actually go for here? That's the question. We do have the 5-2, which is the superior open, I'd say here. On the 3-4, I think I go maybe silver, and then do some sort of Wharf Money Butcher strategy. On the 5-2, we can immediately start with a Butcher, get it in pretty quickly. There with the 4-3, I would also consider going for Lookout, but the bad thing about Lookout opening is that if you don't see it in your turn 3 hand, then, well, if you see it in your turn 3 hand, that's kind of the high roll. You get to organize the rest of your shuffle and get a pretty clean shuffle, and you will see it once again. But if you see it on the turn 4 hand, then playing it will trigger another shuffle, and even though it's just rather short one, you will miss the Lookout and might only see it very, very much later. So that's an aspect I don't really like about playing with Lookout. Yeah. On the 5-2, we could consider getting a Lighthouse alongside the Butcher to have a bit more money in deck. Lighthouse is basically a delayed silver. Or half silver now and on the next turn, but on the next turn we don't have to actually draw a card to get the +1 coin. Quite nice, but yeah, let's discard this Sea Chart strategy. I don't think it's going to be viable, and just start by opening Butcher. The AI goes for double Lighthouse, overpaying the Stonemason. Interesting. Do we want the Lighthouse with the Butcher? This would make it a little more likely that our Butcher misses the shuffle, which would be really bad. But it will also give us the chance to, or a bit of higher chance to hit 5 again. Do we actually need to hit 5? I think we're happy if we can turn one of the estates into a lighthouse and just buy silvers, and maybe a wharf would be nice already. Yeah, let's go for the lighthouse. We do hit the Butcher right away, which is great. We do find the lighthouse here, and we get to put a wharf in. This is going really good. Let's hope we don't draw the butcher dead. We don't. Amazing. Next turn we are going to see the butcher and draw into this shuffle. And in this shuffle we will have 5 coppers, an estate, and a lighthouse. I think I want to put another wharf in there. Let's hope we don't draw this wharf. We don't. Perfect. And here I think we're just buying a gold, as weird as it might sound. We've accumulated a few coffers. We've spread out. We're also really lucky in finding these lighthouses all the time. Now we can put in another gold. The AI gets some lighthouses going, also has a butcher and a wharf, but I think it's going a little too heavy on the lighthouses. I think at this point we just start provincing. I think I like putting in another silver, maybe also just as a butcher target. Could also think about getting a second butcher in. We do miss our wharf here, but we at least get a lighthouse in play, and we know that we have the wharf next turn. And I think here we just use up 2 of our coffers. It's okay to buy a province. Now we play this wolf, buy another province. Yeah, double provincing and butchering a province seems a little unlikely. Now we did play the wharf, so we hit a sizable number here. Now we could buy this province and an estate with it, but that would put us at risk of the AI just yeah, I don't know, butchering a silver into a duchy and or even its wharf. Well, that's not going to be possible, but I'm a little scared of province plus for the AI. It's not too unlikely, so I think we do have 2 lighthouses in play. We still have the butcher in here. The AI has just shuffled its deck, so we don't really know what is going on there. Yeah, buying 2 estates feels somewhat safe. Yeah, see what the AI did there. And now we get rewarded for our play, because had the AI had we just bought a province there and an estate, the AI would have just won, getting that province and duchy at the same time. But now we can we find the butcher and the wharf, and yeah, we would even be able to double province here, but we can just buy province duchy and win this game in 12 turns. This was insanely fast, but this was of course also helped a great deal by our 5-2 opening. Yeah, what to take away from this? Well, I think money strategies always rely on some draw luck. How well do you match up your terminals? Actually, I think it might be interesting for you to, if I just replay this and try out strategy maybe on a 3-4. Let's see. Well, we don't get a 3-4. Let's see how this plays on a 3-4. Let's go for a money strategy with double silver, and let's see how this will play out. Now already, in comparison to last time, we have a much junkier deck, as we don't have this turn 1 butcher. With War of Money, or at least we find the wharf here. That would have also been a risk. Yeah, do we even go for yet another silver? Could also think about a lookout now. We don't have those lighthouses. We don't have a butcher yet, but I like to keep moving right now, having those wharfs as terminals. But it already feels much, much worse than in the last game. Yeah, let's. So the last few cards in our deck are one estate and a copper, I think. DAI, well, does have a butcher in there somewhere. Yeah, the question is silver or lookout. I think trying to hit numbers is the way to go. We do find, we do not find the other wharf, which also was kind of unlikely, but we do hit 8 here. It's turn 7. We don't have any gold in our deck. We don't have any butcher in our deck. At this point, I think I just buy a stonemason and get a third wharf and a butcher in the deck. We do miss. Had we known this, the player might have been to just buy a gold there. Since we do have so many terminals, I like putting in another silver. An alternative could also be a treasury. I'm really not sure how to play this up the 3-4, as you can see. We do hit 8 here, but we might very well lose this. The AI seems to be ahead, but we are fairly fortunate in hitting 8 here again. AI also does so. Can play the treasury, turn the stonemason into maybe already an estate, and hit 8 once again, but that will leave us without any coffers. Could also just buy a duchy here, hoping to somewhat smooth out the next turns. I'm not super confident. The AI is just very, very scary with those coffers and the 2 butchers in its deck. I think we go for just the duchy here. Do find another wharf, but yeah, here we do need to 100% take this province. And also note that had we taken the province on the last turn, we wouldn't be able to hit it right now. But yeah, we need to take this risk. But I think if I have, well, I don't think the AI has a butcher in those last 5 cards, so it cannot mill. But I might also have not tracked the AI's deck well enough to really assess that risk. But yeah, we just barely don't make it. We don't hit 8 here, and we do want to keep this coffer, but I think the AI is just going to win the next turn on the spot. It is not. Wow. That's actually, well, that just goes to show how these money decks play out. You just are completely reliant on the way your draws line up. But yeah, I fully expected to lose the second game um, of the 3-3 or 3-4, but we just won it. Yeah, this kingdom is really, really scary against the AI in any case. And I'm not super confident in my strategy for the 3-3. For the 5-2, I'm very positive that our butcher into wharf money is the way to go, as we just think we reached 33 points in just 12 turns there. Well, now it took us 14. So also, if you face the AI having a 5-2, it might be really, really hard to persist against that. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this commentary anyways, and also this second playthrough. Let me know what you think, and I'll try to catch you next time. Sorry for the late upload. Goodbye. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, goodbye.